Hi everyone, welcome again to another video clip and podcast from Teacher Joseph. Well, today I want to tell you about the word brazen because it came up in a news report, a news headline, which is in the UK today. So the news report is saying that shoplifters, that's the people who steal things from shops, they are becoming more brazen. And that means bold and courageous, but not in a good way. For example, they might walk into a shop and just in front of everyone, take something or a lot of things and then walk out. And they don't care who sees them because they know that shopkeepers can't say anything because they may have a gun, for example. Some shops have security guards and cameras, but there's very little you can do if someone pushes you away and walks out with your things. And that news story is what we're going to look at now. You see there the headline. It says shoplifters out of control and becoming more brazen, say retailers. And you can see a video clip here. There's a picture of a man who went to a phone shop and he's knocked down the stand which is holding these phones and he's stealing the phones. And this happened in December 2024 in one of the shops, which is EE. Now, I don't know exactly the background to this, but almost certainly it's a very vicious and brazen attack because they don't care who sees them. You can see in the mirror, people are walking past and they just want the phones. These phones are indeed dummy phones. They don't work, but the people are really wanting to take them. And there they are. Yeah, it's very sad. So we're just going to read a little bit of this. It says, retail crime is out of control and shoplifters are carrying out increasingly brazen and violent acts of theft because they do not fear any consequences, an industry body has told the BBC. So a few words there for you. Brazen is one. An industry body, that is a body of people who represent a particular industry. For example, it could mean an association made up of many people, like a union or a club. It says here, in some cases, offenders are openly clearing shelves of items in full view of customers and shop workers, a tactic sometimes known as kamikaze shoplifting. In the 12 months to September last year, incidents of customer theft in the UK rose by 3.7 million to 20.4 million and cost retailers 2 billion. We are. Very interesting story, isn't it? About brazen shopkeepers. Well, it's not shopkeepers. Shopkeepers are the people, of course, who look after the shops. Well, they can be brazen too in trying to sell you things. But we're talking here about the vandals, the burglars, the people who are abusing and stealing things which aren't theirs. And they're very brazen, as you can see. Yes. Right, let's go back to the main screen so you can see me again. And there we are. Yes, more and more people are feeling very unsafe when it comes to shops because they just really feel that there are some people in shops who are stealing things. And we're told that if you see anyone acting suspiciously, you should tell a manager. But to be honest with you, in a shop like Lidl or Aldi, I really don't feel comfortable doing that. I have seen shoplifters in the past, but our stores also have shop detectives, people in plain clothes who walk around and watch what you're buying. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. Anyway, let's move on a little bit because I want to give you just some updates about my strategy for helping you learn English in 2025. There's a few things I want to say here, and I really would welcome your feedback with some of these. So please do tell me in your next English lesson or send me an email about what your thoughts are. 2024, first of all, was a wonderful year because we were able to manage to get a new microphone so that my voice could sound better doing video clips. And also, we established the weekly lesson, which is kind of like a theme for the week. And most weeks, I try to give them vocabulary or some extra meaning to the weekly lesson. And it's usually something involving British life or culture. That'll be continuing. The biggest change, I think, will be regarding my website. Now, just so you know, my plan is to migrate that website onto another platform that will give me more control over it and will also allow me to escape advertising. So that should make the website easier and it will mean I can change the layout. For those of you who don't know me very well, maybe this is your first time hearing my video clip, as well as teaching English, I use my voice a lot for various different things. The first thing is to help other people speak well. Part of my job is to help you communicate effectively. And in the future, with my new site, once it's migrated, I really hope to be focusing more on this issue of communication. Now, don't worry, because I'll still be here, but I really want to focus in or home in, as we say here in the UK, with sounds, the sounds of English and the sounds of the words, enabling you to communicate better. I also would like to talk in a much broader sense about communication skills, not only about words, but intonation, how you say those words. And I also want to bring in a commercial aspect because, as well as teaching you English, I also like to help companies advertise well using my voice. You know, sometimes when you call a call center, someone tells you, press 1 to speak to customer services, press 2 for anything else. And there are people like me who record those messages. It is true that we're kind of required less these days because AI does it for us. But still, one of these days you might be flying somewhere and you hear a voice like mine saying, ladies and gentlemen, please ensure your seatbelt is fastened and your seat is in an upright position. There are people like me record these things for airlines and also for different products. So don't be surprised if you recognize a voice. Perhaps it's an English teacher somewhere. So I love communication. I love radio. I love doing things which help you to communicate better. So when I move my website to my new platform, I really want to be in a position to give you and help you with communication skills by adding more audio directly to the site, as well as my social media channels. That's something to look out for, and don't worry, you're not going to miss anything. The website might be a little bit more business-like, focusing on those things, and I might rebrand it as some kind of communications coach. I don't know, but there's certainly the role of actually learning grammar will be played down a bit because you don't need me anymore for that. Most students I get, they want to know how to speak well. They want to know how to talk well. They want to know how to pass that job interview. They want to know about a particular book, or they want to hear me reading. And those are the things that I want to share with you. So if you're looking for grammar lessons, even now, I can do grammar, but it's not my focus. My focus is helping you to speak better. So there'll be some changes to my website coming. That will be good for you to see. What else will be happening? Well, uh, as well as these things of communication, many of you might not know that I also have a Scottish Gaelic page focusing on the Scottish Indigenous language. Now, that has nothing to do with English, but I think I'd probably like to highlight that more. It has its own site right now, so I don't quite know if I'll amalgamate it, which means put it together with this site, my English site, or not. I don't know. You may also not know that I love to record audiobooks, and that's another thing that I'd like to continue. So these are the kind of things that are hard to share with you right now, but you'll see more of those in the future as well. It might mean that my website goes offline from time to time, but I'll do my best to keep it going during my migration process. Now, what else do I need to tell you? Well, there's a few other things. Another thing that I really, really love is motivation and motivating you to learn better, to have the confidence to communicate better and speak better. And these things are not really the job of an English teacher. I've already rebranded my site to show that it's more about language coaching than teaching you. But I don't know whether I should be moving away from this idea of an identity or brand of an English teacher. Because, like I mentioned, you don't need grammar. So there'll be more of a kind of a life coach feel coming in. And I'll also be offering different kinds of lessons for those of you who are interested. But don't worry, I'll always be on italki and I'll always be here and there. I'm just kind of expanding because I'm aware that some of you are looking for something more related to confidence, communication, rather than simply accent reduction. I haven't quite worked out all the details yet, but it's coming. And I just wanted to give you the heads up. Just to summarize, then, my website is probably going to have a more commercial feel to it. How that interacts with language learning, I don't know. But either way, I'll still be here on YouTube. You'll still be seeing the usual posts from me. It's just the brand, I think, is going to be a bit wider and not only focused on language learning, more kind of communications coaching, I think. Kind of related, but not exactly the same. Well, I haven't worked out all the details yet, so I'm just kind of telling you. And about my Gaelic site, well, I want to do some more writing. That may be about the mythological creatures that have already featured in some of my English lessons. And so if I do that, you'll also be seeing those because I want to share them with you. So a lot to think about. The other thing which many of you don't know that I'm really interested in because it's related to motivation is your belief system. Whatever you think about your English ultimately is determined about your belief about yourself. Your belief about yourself is ultimately determined by the culture you live in. The culture you live in is ultimately determined by whatever they believe as a group about society, control, higher powers. All of these things really do need examination because they can interfere with your learning journey. And it's really important that you're very, very clear in what you believe in order to make sure that you can learn. Because if you're someone who believes, oh, God's going to punish me very, very badly because I'm a bad person, that will have a knock-on effect. That will filter down into your learning, and you'll be thinking, waiting for the lightning to strike. So it's all about finding peace. Now, I'm not talking about religion here. I'm talking about spirituality, how you connect with whatever ideas you have about who you are. And I really want you to start exploring what your beliefs are, because many of you are telling me, I don't think I can do this. I have no confidence. And the question is why? And that involves, if you want to change, that involves breaking some long held beliefs about who you are. Are you up for the challenge? I hope so, because it's something else I'll be looking at in the future. How to grow, how we interact with the great world around us with confidence. And I just love that communication. Communication goes far, far deeper than talking to your neighbor. In the English world, it's almost musical. And if you do it right, it has infinite possibilities because, of course, it involves honesty, trust, and ethics. Well, as you can hear, what's needed from my point of view, for me, to become the best person I can become, is to help you more with those kinds of things. And that's a very different thing from focusing on grammar. But don't worry, whatever form that takes, I will always still be here making these lovely clips for you. But just so you know, things might look a little bit different going forward. But there will always be loads of things there to help you. And I'm just giving you the heads up, the foreknowledge, the change is coming. Now, I have a lot of things on my plate at the moment with university, with working, with other things. So it's likely to be a while and very, very slowly that you'll see any big changes. But over the coming weeks, you'll notice on my website just little things beginning to change. And I'm really looking forward to being on that journey with you and helping you to become the best person you can be and the best communicator that you can be as well. Well, that's all I wanted to say today. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll be back with you again soon. And enjoy your day. See you. Bye.